Hey, Abby.
Hello?
Hi, Abby. Let's call Patrick. You guys met at a St. Patrick's party. You talked for a long time. You thought it went really well. You bonded over the fact that you both are single parents and you have kids. And so you decided collectively to get together at a park or a playground or whatever with the kids. And it wasn't really a date per se, but, the kids got to meet each other and you guys got to talk some more. And you thought everything went really well, except you have not heard from Patrick since then, and you want to know why.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of racking my brain, what's happening. So I don't know. Like at this point, I need some help. I need some intervention.
Look at mom multitasking over there. I got the kids in the background still trying to figure out what this dude, you got needs, girl. I understand. Let's call this guy now. Good luck, Abby.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, is this Patrick?
Yes, this is he.
Hey, Patrick, good morning. My name is Fred. I'm calling from the Fred Show, the morning radio show, and I have to tell you that we are on the radio right now, and I would need your permission to continue with the call. Is it cool if we talk for just a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, thank you. We're calling on behalf of a woman who reached out to us. Her name is Abby. I guess you guys met at a party recently and went on a date, or I guess it was kind of more of like an outing with your kids. Do you remember this woman?
Yeah, I remember Abby. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? Because we just talked to her a second ago, and she was talking about how she met you at the party, and you guys bonded over being parents, and she thought everything went great. You guys apparently decided to meet up with your kids, and she hasn't heard from you since. So what happened?
I was going to take my son out to a park and just called her up to see if she wanted to join. Nothing serious, but yeah, we met up. She was great. Abby, she was really fun to be around. Honestly, her two kids were just terrorists. That was kind of my opinion.
Her kids are terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, just in the way that they terrorized my son and I guess me. I do want to say though, I'm a dad. I'm a single dad. I understand how kids can be, but her two kids were just next level. I mean, they spent most of the afternoon just double teaming on my son, taking his toys, pushing him. One of her daughters sneezed at one point. I said, "God bless you," and she just made a beeline straight for me and wiped her nose and just wiped it all over my jeans. We kind of laughed, but I was thinking, this is really out of line. So I tried to get them to play some games. They just didn't want to listen to me. One of them just straight up told me I was ugly and then just took off running. And I'm like, okay.
A kid called you ugly.
He just called me ugly. I mean, that hurt the ego a little bit. But I'm like, all right, whatever. Yes. But the worst part of it, they're biters. Both of her kids bite. Like one of them literally bit me. I don't know if you've ever been bit by a kid, but that hurts.
I'm sorry to laugh, but I mean, okay. So they're rubbing germs on you. They're biting you. They're calling you ugly. They're roasting you. And what is she doing during all of this? Like, what is she just watching this and laughing? Is she enabling it? Is she trying to correct them? I mean, what's happening? What is her?
Well, no, she wasn't trying to correct them. I don't know that she was enabling, other than just not stepping in. But it just seemed like they ran the show. I could tell that there's probably no consequences at home. If they get in trouble, it just felt like they were in charge. I don't know. It was just a lot for me for an afternoon. She never really told them to stop, and I didn't really feel like it was my place to do that. So I thought I'll just remove myself from the situation after this afternoon, and we can kind of be done with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that much either. But let me bring Abby in. I forgot to mention that Abby is here. Abby, you didn't say to us that your kids were biting this man.
Okay, so my 2-year-old does, we are working on it. I told her to apologize. First of all, terrorist is really extreme, and I really don't like that word, especially associated with my children. So I really hate that. That's just, for me, if he's turned off by me, that's fine. Him using that word to describe my children, that's a huge turn off for him. For me towards him. They are not. They obviously were a little more on the excited side, obviously, to meet new people, meet a new kid. They weren't ganging up on his son. I did try to interject. There's just so much, it's hard to be a single parent. It's kind of hard since I divulged some issues, with my ex. I don't have much of support from my child's father. So it's me doing it all. So it's like really hard that he's like blasting me as a mother. It's just very hurtful because I was trying. So like he's kind of going to an extreme that I did nothing.
Yeah, Abby, my mom, my sister and I were raised by my mom primarily, and she was a single parent for a while, and I commiserate with what you're saying. I think though, you know, your kids could act up, but just from my perspective, if it were me and I'm Patrick, I guess what I would have been looking for is less about what a 2-year-old's doing and more about maybe what you're doing about it, because he certainly couldn't discipline the kids. That would have been unacceptable, I'm sure.
But that's what I'm saying. So you're listening to what he's saying, that I didn't discipline my children.
Well, no, I'm asking you if, okay. I'm not criticizing you. In fact, I started this whole thing out by not criticizing you, but I'm saying if I'm in this situation.
But I had already explained that when she did go to bite him, I took her aside and said, you cannot be doing that and you need to apologize.
Is that what happened, Patrick? Are you not giving her enough credit for her trying to manage her kids?
Well, no, she did step in. I mean, it's not like she didn't do anything. It's just that I didn't see necessarily the results coming out of her telling her kids what to do. I mean, it's not like they just continued doing it. They would stop, but then they would amp back up. So, I have 100% support for single moms, and I do apologize for using the word terrorist. That may have been a little harsh. That's not necessarily what I meant. It was a lot for me and my boy. We're just not used to that kind of energy, so it was just a lot.
And that's fine, but like also I feel like he's trying to come off that like they're both saints. Like his son, yes, his son was behaved, but his son also like threw sand at my daughters a few times.
I would have threw sand too if they was biting me.
They didn't bite they weren't biting the child. Like I said, only my 2-year-old bit him. And like again, okay. I disciplined him. We're working on it. Like she's 2. Yeah. So, like, maybe she got scared, you know, like, we're trying to communicate with her. We're trying to explain that that's not okay. Sometimes her older sister will get upset and bite her back, but my older daughter does not bite other people. Like, it's a sibling thing between them that, like, we're trying to work on. So the fact that, like, it's all coming down on me, it's just, like, really hard. Like, I'm trying my best, and I know he's trying his best. Like, I would never have used that, like, you know, feeling like he didn't discipline his son enough or that his son was doing things. Like, I give everybody, a grain of salt. I give everybody, like, you know, I feel for every single parent out there trying the best they can.
Yeah, we all feel for you too, girl. We are not trying to criticize you. We are not trying to criticize you at all. But I think we have to respect his decision to not want to be a part of that right now. It was a lot for him. And you can admit that,
totally
right?
Fine.
You can admit that part, right?
That's totally fine. That is totally fine. I can admit that. The whole thing is just like be a man and say, you know what? I feel like this is not working, and like, you know, like it's better off. Like that's what I'm asking
but hold on, Abby, just one second. This is not an indictment on parents or single parents as a whole, and I also understand we're talking about your children, and so understandably you have emotion about this, and you should, and that is fair. But that's probably why he chose not to say anything and just sort of fade away, because he probably didn't want to have to tell a woman who he just met, I think your kids were unruly, and then get into this sort of conversation, because I understand why you're defensive. I totally do. But I also think you need to understand from the other side that it's a difficult conversation to have with someone when you're talking about their kids.
Well, sure, but he didn't even have to bring up the kids. He could have just said, you know what, I'm just not feeling the vibe. Like, I think, you know, I'm not really looking for a relationship. You know what, honestly, like, just say something. Like, don't leave somebody on red. Like, just be respectful. Like, I've had to end things. They're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable when you have to tell someone, yeah, you know, like, I'm not feeling it, or like, there's a respectful way to end things without ghosting. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just feel like I deserved a little bit more respect than that after I feel like we really did have a connection. But that's fine. That's fine.
I think,
like, if that's what you didn't want to do.
That's fair. I think that's fair. I think that your emotion and defensiveness about this is also fair. But I also think that it's possible that when we're talking about our own kids and our own families and our own, especially when they're our own kids, maybe you're a little blinded by how that experience may have been for someone else and why that may not be for them. I also understand the communication part of this. So look, no one's coming down on you. No one's criticizing you. It's not for him. He has that right. That is dating. But Patrick, I'll ask the question. I mean, would you like to go out with her again? Maybe we, don't bring the kids this time and then slowly work on that whole thing, another time.
Honestly, had we had this conversation, I may have understood a little more. We kind of kept it pretty surface, but I really dig the fire that she has, that she's representing, standing up for her kids. I see that she's working on it. I'm absolutely not opposed to going out again if Abby's up for that.
I did not see this. I did not see this coming. So you have no problem being a human Kleenex again. That's fine.
Well, no, I don't think it's going to be that way. I think I just have a bit more of an understanding of what she's going through, and I like her passion.
All right. I mean, look, I'm a little surprised, but Abby, I understand where you're coming from. Patrick, I didn't expect this, but great. So it'll be an adult date. You guys will go out again. We'll pay for it. And then, maybe we'll check in down the road. But, Abby, I appreciate your perspective, and I hope that you can see his and maybe see where we're coming from as observers. And I hope you guys have a great date.
I can. I mean, I appreciate it. And obviously, maybe we do have some stuff to talk about. So I do appreciate, Patrick being honest. I can respect the honesty here. So I can. So hopefully, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Patrick, you can be honest with me. We don't have to do this over the radio if it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean,
I hear you.
You did kind of chew us out a little bit, so I'm a little afraid of that. But I also I get it. I get it though. I get it. We're talking about your kids. I get it. I get it.
I've had a rough go, and I do stand up. So, I mean, I really wasn't trying to bite anybody's head off, but when you start talking about my kids and me as a parent, obviously, I'm always going to defend what I believe is right. So it wasn't anything against you guys, because we all don't know each other.
I get it. All right. Hey, I think he's a little turned on over there, so that's great. You guys go out as adults, have a great time. We'll pay for it, and we'll check in later. And good luck to both of you.
All right.
Thank you.